Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and today is Thursday, September 11th. With me on the mic, I have some fabulous co hosts that include I Chill, my favorite Libra, and my Benji. Hey, ladies.
Hey.
Hey,
Now, my gorgeous moon is here well, but she's multitasking. She's working, so she may not be able to chime in every now and then, but I know she's listening in spirit. And I have to say, I don't know about y'all, baby, but after yesterday's news, look, I'm always thrilled when the bigot dies, and I'm sorry. That's just I. Hey, it is, and I can't say anything that's not going to make me sound like I'm celebrating his death, but I kind of am. And then some people, I even ruffled some feathers on Facebook, and so I don't give a fuck. That man is dead, and good riddance, honey. But let's just go ahead and get jump into the tea because we have some tea with him.
I'm sorry, my sound was muted. Did you say something?
Okay, honey. Child. Well, this first piece of tea, well, we can thank the witches for what happened yesterday, honey.
That was so crazy.
I giggled, honey, when I saw this. So you'll see where I have him from Vibe, where it says Jezebel Ryder paid Etsy witches to curse Charlie Kirk 2 days before shocking assassination. So, well, if y'all can pay them witches, seeing Wayne Brady my way, that would be very helpful as well. I wonder how much they rates are. But anyway, so the feminist website Jezebel has found itself at the center of controversy after publishing a piece that has not aged well in the wake of tragedy. Just 2 days before the public and shocking assassination of MAGA conservative influencer Charlie Kirk in Utah, the site ran an article where a writer detailed paying witches on Etsy to curse the Turning Point USA founder. The article, which reads more like dark satire than hard reporting, pointed out Kirk's regressive rhetoric, his bad haircut, and the passionate idea of punishing him through spell work. Are you interested in punishing Kirk for the years of regressive rhetoric he shouted at America's youth and anyone within earshot? Here at Jezebel, we're about to find out if there's a spell for that, the article teased. I'm sorry. The writer casually admitted to paying cash for multiple curses and also joked about the ethics of casting spells on someone they'd never met. To ruin his day with the collective feminist power of the Etsy coven would be my life's greatest joy, it continued. What started as a skeptical Etsy purchase, however, turned all too real when Kirk was fatally shot in the neck during a stop on his America Comeback Tour in Utah Valley University on Wednesday, September 10th. In light of the killing, Jezebel's swiftly added an editor's note at the top of the story, distancing itself from the act. We do not endorse, encourage, or excuse political violence of any kind, the publication stated, condemning the shooting in the strongest possible terms. The unsettling public tragedy took place when the conservative activist had just answered a question from an audience member about mass shootings committed by transgender people. That's when a single gunshot rang out, sending thousands of attendees scrambling for safety and leaving the 31-year-old jerking back and appearing to grab his neck in pain. Officials later confirmed the shot came from a long gun fired from the university's is that Losi Center, located about 200 yards from where Kirk was speaking. He was transported to a local hospital for emergency surgery where he died. Former President Donald Trump, why do they always call him former President Donald Trump in these articles? I feel like they know something we don't know, but anyway. Former President Donald Trump, a longtime ally of Kirk's, reacted swiftly to the news. He's not doing well. Yes, it looks very bad, Trump initially told the Post, adding that he was feeling not good about the situation. Later, in a Truth Social post, he wrote, "The great and even legendary Charlie Kirk is dead. No one understood or had the heart of the youth in the United States of America better than Charlie. He was loved and admired by all, especially me, and now he's no longer with us. Melania and my sympathies go out to his beautiful wife, Erica, and family. Charlie, we love you." Authorities say a person of interest was arrested following the shooting, but was later released by the FBI. The case remains under investigation. So, I'm
Now
sorry.
we know Melania don't give no fucks. Okay, stop it.
Okay. Melania probably don't even know what day it is today, honey. That girl got to be so drugged up to be beside that ugly man and pretending to be first lady. Allegedly, allegedly.
Allegedly.
Well, well, that's the first piece of news. So, that assassination might have been at the courtesy of the Etsy witches who were paid to. But I just have to say, from what I know about paganism and Wicca, so that is actually frowned upon. You do not cast spells to end someone's life. Like I
No,
know that's yeah.
it was
So,
satire. I mean, it was satire. It just unfortunate that it was written at this time. But yeah, it was satire. I mean, Jezebel's been this way.
hmm And we have a comment saying Melania is not happy she has to attend the 9/11 ceremonies. Of course not, honey. That girl did not want to be a first. All she wanted was a sugar daddy, and she was like, "Well, wait a minute. You telling me I got to be the first lady of a
Hmm.
country I'm not even from? Wait a
Trump
minute
wasn't
now."
even happy. He was sleeping. If look, if they not talking about Trump, he's not interested. He looks
hmm
so bored and uninterested. Like, please, cosplaying like he care about those people. When he said his building was the tallest one now after the twin towers came down. Man, mm-mm.
Yeah, stupid, stupid. Well, with more Charlie Kirk news, honey. I don't know if Chill, if you had a chance to see the South Park episode that when Eric Cartman played like a version of Charlie Kirk in the show. I want to say it was either the second or the third episode of the latest season.
I haven't seen it since that first episode I told you about.
Okay, well, it was hilarious. That episode was hilarious. Cartman was pretending to be like a Charlie Kirk around his school, and then they had Principal Mackey become an ICE agent. It was a hot mess.
not, not Mackie. Oh
but
God.
but Comedy Central has actually pulled that episode after his shooting.
Oh wow.
Yep, and y'all see where I just shared this hot new hip hop article. Comedy Central pulled South Park episode after Charlie Kirk's death. So Comedy Central has pulled the South Park episode "Got a Nut" in the wake of Charlie Kirk's death. The episode originally aired on August 6th and featured the character of Eric Cartman doing an impersonation of the late political commentator.
Mm.
Many fans of Kirk have been labeling the episode insensitive on social media, with some even alleging it could have inspired the attack.
Oh come
Girl.
on.
I'm sorry. I couldn't even read that with a straight face, girl.
The reaching there, Lord.
Yes. Well, before his death, Kirk said he enjoyed the episode and even changed some of his social media profile pictures to an image of Cartman mimicking him on the show. Kirk was shot in the neck during a speech at Utah Valley University yesterday. The incident occurred about 20 minutes after he took the stage as he was discussing mass shootings in America. While police initially detained a suspect minutes after the attack, they eventually let him go and are now conducting a manhunt to find the actual shooter. Both the FBI and ATF are on the scene investigating the incident. FBI Director Kash Patel, mm, he wrote in a social media post, "We are closely monitoring reports of the tragic shooting involving Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. Our thoughts are with Charlie, his loved ones, and everyone affected. Agents will be on the scene quickly, and the FBI stands in full support of the ongoing response and investigation." Robert Bowles, special agent in charge of the FBI's Salt Lake City field office, confirmed on Thursday morning that authorities recovered a rifle they believe the shooter used to kill Kirk. According to CNN, he described it as a high-powered bolt-action rifle that investigator I'm sorry, bolt a high-powered bolt-action rifle that investigators recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled. Kirk closely aligned himself with Donald Trump throughout the 2024 presidential election. He addressed Kirk's death in a post on Truth Social, and we don't need to reread that post.
Please, please don't.
So, yeah, but South Park said, mm-mm. And I'm actually surprised. Well, excuse me, not South Park, but Comedy Central took that off, and I'm actually very surprised by that.
Yeah, because they don't usually pull. They've had many controversial episodes, and they don't usually pull them off. But I I can kind of see why they did it this time because the rhetoric surrounding this man's death and the claims of, we're under attack, it's a war, they're hunting us, and all of this over his death, as opposed to none of this over anybody that's not them death. I think they're probably wise doing it just because there's so much hate in the air right now. These
Hmm.
people have definitely ramped up the violent racist talk, and we don't really need any help with that,
Right.
including from our leader of this country and the owner of Twitter is just saying the same kinds of things, and I just when like someone else posted, we out here just trying to survive the tariffs, the high groceries, the rising electricity, the rising insurance. We out here trying to survive, and these people are trying to do something totally different. We're not hunting and wanting to attack people and do violence and all of these things they're attributing to the left. They've already labeled this man a liberal leftist, and so on and on. And
Hmm.
we just don't need that right now.
Yeah, and they know. They know. They know. This is the
Well,
people that claims us to be the superior race, the smartest race up. They know They know exactly what people of color are doing out here, and they know good and
right.
well they're not under attack. They just
They
playing
know.
in our faces.
Yeah, they're using this to further their agenda. I mean, I know this, but this is what's happening. I
Hmm.
mean, they've already threatened three HBCUs who have nothing to do with this. Why no threats to the Utah college where this happened? They're threatening black universities who, why? As
Hmm.
as some kind of revenge. Like it's 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 too much.
Yes, honey. Agreed. And speaking of too much, and we were kind of talking about this story before I started recording, but because of Charlie Kirk, one of MSNBC's analysts was fired. So let me get that link here from TMZ. And y'all should see where it says MSNBC fires analyst Matthew Dowd after remarks on Charlie Kirk assassination. So, MSNBC has cut ties with political analyst Matthew Dowd following his controversial on air remarks moments after Charlie Kirk was shot at Utah Valley University, TMZ has confirmed. In case you missed it, Dowd was asked about the environment in which a shooting like this happens, and he pointed to Kirk, saying he's been one of the most divisive, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech and sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. He then went on to say, "You can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts when you have, and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place. And that's the unfortunate environment we are in." Dow's comments quickly drew backlash online, prompting MSNBC boss Rebecca Cutler to release a statement calling them inappropriate, insensitive, and unacceptable, while also apologizing. Dowd also apologized, saying, "I apologize for my tone and words. Let me be clear. I in no way intended for my comments to blame Kirk for his horrendous attack. Let us all come together and condemn violence of any kind." Clearly, the apology wasn't enough, as Dowd is no longer with MSNBC, a network source tells TMZ. As you know, Charlie Kirk was assassinated yesterday while speaking to a large crowd on a college campus as part of his America Comeback tour. The manhunt for the shooter is still ongoing. No suspect has been identified after two people initially taken into custody were released. So yeah. So what Benji actually brought to my attention is that when it comes to news and journalism, like there is a standard that has to be upheld, and you have to be objective. So that's why I still personally think he shouldn't have been fired. But then again, I'm also not the hiring manager at MSNBC. So there's that
I
on that.
I understand why he was. It was a personal opinion as opposed to an objective story, and I get that. I don't think what he said was necessarily a bad thing. He's basically saying your words have actions, and in this climate, words can lead to violence, and they
Hmm.
have. This is not the first example, but it was an opinion and not just a objective point of view of the story. So I do understand why he was let go. Unfortunately for him, you know.
Yep. Well, that's that on it. I'm sure. Who is it? News Nation. Don't they like to get like these people who've been fired? They like to give them jobs quickly. So maybe contact News Nation, honey, and go from there. I don't know. Shit.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, he'll land somewhere.
Yep. He is a white man, honey. He will be just fine.
Yeah, he'll fall forward.
Hmm. Well, honey, our next story, G Herbo. Baby, what are you doing? Like, oh my God. Child. So I have this link here from Hot New Hip Hop. And you all should see the headline where it says G Herbo supports Donald Trump potentially sending National Guard to Chicago, child.
He's not the
Oh,
only
baby.
one.
Exactly. Yep. I saw that, but and I saw like a couple of people, hun. I'm just like, what are y'all doing? Oh, child. Anyway, President Trump has floated the idea of deploying the National Guard to Chicago, but has not fully committed to it yet. He's already done so in Washington, D.C., taking credit for a decrease in crime that started in 2023. Additionally, he has presented the idea of bringing the National Guard to New York City and Los Angeles, as well as Baltimore. Of course, the potential move has left a lot of civilians unhappy, but one person who's welcomed the idea is G. Herbo. G. Herbo was caught by TMZ at LAX on Wednesday. The outlet asked him about the potential moves that could go down in his home city. Whatever you need to do to keep the kids safe and the women, he said, whatever's going to keep us safe and clean the streets, I'm all for it. I'm a tax-paying citizen. I just want everyone to get home safe, he continued. Since his debut nearly 15 years ago, G Herbo has gone through some considerable personal growth. He left the streets behind some years ago as he gets ready to celebrate his 30th birthday in October. He clearly has no interest in going back. Illinois Governor JB Pritzker has routinely spoken out against federal government intervention in Chicago, but that has not stopped Trump. Like several major cities around the United States, ICE raids have been regular occurrences, with the agency indiscriminately targeting both undocumented and documented immigrants. Still, as someone who was once in the streets and has not made it much of a secret in his music, G Herbo is not being against anything that may make where he came from a bit safer. Should not come as a surprise. Herbo recently started to tease even more new music on Instagram, so we'll see what comes of that. Well, I won't be listening to it, but I just I I don't know. I Cause I trust me, I get crime and I get some areas have lots of crime, but I just for the life of me cannot understand why black people especially would think over policing a community is a good thing. Like I just are you kidding me? I just, what? I just don't have words. But hey, this is what we living in. And you saw how it was. I was just talking before we started recording. There were black people that were saying rest in peace to Charlie Kirk, and I'm like, well, what the fuck is wrong with you niggas? Like, are you kidding me? But hey, some people think, and I really I don't have much more to add. I'm just like, what are you doing, Herbo? What are you doing? That's that on that, child. Well, our next story. So remember we talked about Tyreek Hill and his wife Keita, and how well initially when we learned that he beat on her allegedly on April 7th. She went to file for divorce on April 8th, and then it came out that he had a history of beating her. It was a pattern. Now, child, the NFL done entered the chat. Now the NFL is launching their own investigation into it, child.
Mm-mm.
And you see, I have this TMZ article. NFL investigating new Tyreek Hill domestic violence claims, child. Mm-mm. What that girl say? You about to lose your job. Hey, you about to lose your job. Well, the NFL has launched an investigation into Tyreek Hill after his estranged wife, Keita Vaccaro, alleged he was violent with her several times during their 17-month marriage. Sources tell TMZ Sports the league initiated the probe this week as part of its standard policy. No word yet on how it'll impact the star receiver status for the Dolphins' tilt with the Patriots on Sunday or any other Miami games going forward. According to court documents we obtained this month, Vaccaro alleged that on 8 separate instances during their time as a married couple, Hill got physical with her. She said the first incident took place in January 2024, just 2 months after they tied the knot in Austin, Texas. She alleged that at their Southwest Ranches, Florida home, Hill shoved her to the floor, stood over her, ripped off her necklace during a tiff over a postnuptial agreement. She said 2 weeks later, while they were at an Orlando, Florida hotel, he flew into a fit of rage and violently attacked her. She also claimed that during one of Hill's alleged outbursts, he spit on her. Vaccaro ultimately filed to divorce the football player in April after they were involved in a domestic dispute at their Miami area residence. For Hill's part, his attorney called the allegations nothing more than an attempt by Miss Vaccaro and her mother and/or counsel to shake Mr. Hill down. Um, we've read that statement before. We don't need to read it again. But then the article ends with Hill played in Miami's season opening loss to the Colts on Sunday and recorded just 40 yards on 4 catches, whatever that means. But yeah,
It's
baby. Thank you. But the NFL done answer the chat, honey. They coming for your ass, honey. I mean, and they saying it's standard policy or whatever, I'm sure, but for us to know about it, yeah, I don't think anything good is gonna come of this. Because what they gonna say after that? They cannot keep this man employed after all we know, and I I would be surprised if they do keep him employed for real. But then again, y'all are also talking to somebody who don't know a damn thing about sports balls, so take what I'm telling you with a grain of salt, child. Well, another sports ball, another sports ball investigation. Malik Beasley, are y'all familiar with him?
mm-mm.
I well, I don't know who he is either, but he's being investigated by the NBA. And let me get that link for y'all here, which is another TMZ article. And y'all should see where it says Malik Beasley under NBA investigation over gambling allegations.
Uh-oh.
You know they don't play with no gambling, honey. So while Malik Beasley is no longer a target of a federal gambling investigation, the NBA is doing its due diligence into the serious allegations involving the free agent guard. The league told ESPN it is conducting its own probe into Beasley after a sports book detected unusual betting interest in his stats in January of 2024. While it's unclear how long the league has been looking into the 28-year-old, the outlet cited a source that said the process is believed to be in its final stages. Beasley's attorney, Steve Haney, told ESPN he is fully cooperating as the league conducts its inquiry. It was just a few weeks ago. Um, I'm sorry. It was just a few weeks ago. Beasley was given the all clear from the Eastern District of New York after officials investigated allegations connected to the 2023-24 season when he was a member of the Milwaukee Bucks. Just before he became a target, he was in talks to sign an extension with the Detroit Pistons, where he averaged 16.3 points and 2.6 rebounds a game during the 2024-25 campaign. A few days ago, Malik posted on his Instagram teasing that a free agency decision was near. Year 10 is approaching, probably the most interesting one of them all, and the goal remains the same: be better than last year. No word on any potential landing spots, but he'll most likely have to wait to put pen to paper on any potential deals until the league clears his name. Mm-mm. So they said, now wait a minute. They look at so a sports book from January 2024 and said, well, wait a minute. Why is this looks a little unusual? Now, even though he was cleared federally, the NBA said, well, we still want to look into it. We want to do our own research, honey. So that's that on that. Well, I just want to give y'all for the next, I want to say maybe 3 to 4 stories. We're going to talk about some figures that most of us really don't care for and really don't like, but they're in the news and the tea is hot, so we got to talk about them.
Well, if
Like
we have
this,
to.
if we have to, yep, like this clown here, honey, Kanye West.
Oh boy.
Well, honey, that school, that Donda Academy, honey, I have a TMZ article, and y'all should see where it says here Kanye West ordered to sit for deposition in Donda Academy lawsuit. And I
Oh,
just have to say, I know his mama is turning over in her grave. Honey. Like, this is what you use my name for, you coon ass nigga. Well, anyway. So Kanye West is being ordered to sit down for a deposition in a lawsuit filed against him by a former employee at his Donda Academy. And the judge set a strict deadline. According to new legal docs obtained by TMZ, a judge in Los Angeles on Tuesday ordered Kanye to appear for a deposition within 30 days. And Yeezy has to show up in person to answer questions. The depot is for a lawsuit. I'm sorry. The depot is for a lawsuit a man named Trevor Phillips filed against Kanye West in April of 2024. In the suit, Phillip claims he worked for Kanye at Donda and says Ye frequently shared anti Semitic views with staffers and once announced he wanted to shave students' heads and intended to put a jail at the school. Now, I definitely believe about the anti Semitic stuff that he was saying because I mean, we've seen him do it before. But anyway, Phillips also alleges Ye made a habit of berating and bullying black employees, including himself, at Donda. He is suing for discrimination, harassment, hostile work environment, and a host of other things. And he's seeking damages. The docs say Phillips has made several failed attempts to get Kanye to show up for a deposition, with Kanye wriggling out each time. Now the judge is trying to step in and get Kanye in front of Phillips's lawyers, and the clock is ticking. We've reached out to Kanye's lawyer, Eduardo Martorell. Is that how you say his name? But he declined to comment. So, So that's one piece of tea, honey, about somebody we don't like. So the judge says, stop playing with me. You got 30 days to get your ass up in here, or I will send out a warrant for your arrest. And you will be held in contempt of court. So you can play with your mama, you can play with your dingling, but don't play with me in this court.
jail.
Yes. Well, that's that on that. Who I got next for the other Oh, well, Fat Joe. I think I'm probably the only person that don't really care for him, honey. I don't know how y'all feel about it. I'm not a fan, but
No, you're not the only one, baby.
okay. Well, good to know, honey. Well, that crazy lawyer, that's suing him, honey, and remember how he's got in trouble for using AI in other cases as well, like the TD Jakes case and stuff. Well, I have this article here from All Hip Hop, and it's an exclusive, and y'all should see where it says lawyer asks judge to let him fix AI generated slop in Fat Joe lawsuit, but gets shot down. So, Tyrone Blackburn. Tyrone Blackburn attempted to clean up a legal mess in rapper Fat Joe's defamation lawsuit, but was blocked by a federal judge after admitting that his court filing contained flawed citations that appeared to have been created by artificial intelligence. The Manhattan based attorney who represents both co defendant Terrence Dixon and his own law firm asked U.S. District Judge Jennifer L. Uh, Rockin for permission to replace his original motion to dismiss with a corrected version. Blackburn told the courts that his team had discovered a number of inadvertent citation inaccuracies, and said the changes were necessary for clarity and accuracy in the record. He acknowledged that several legal references in the filing were outdated, incorrect, or misquoted, but insisted the mistakes didn't affect the core of its legal argument. He claimed the errors were unintentional and urged the court to disregard the flawed document. Judge Rockin denied the request, noting that Fat Joe's legal team had already filed their opposition. She ruled that Blackburn would have to address the issues in his reply brief rather than submitting a new amended complaint with fixes. Fat Joe's attorney had already flagged the questionable citations, pointing out missing case names, altered language, and formatting that suggested the use of generative AI tools. In court filings, they said the motion included misrepresentations and fabrications of legal authorities, clearly generated by AI, and listed at least 10 instances of hallucinated case law. The Bronx rapper is suing Dixon and Blackburn for defamation, accusing them of attempting to extort him by spreading false claims of sexual misconduct and underage relationships. And we pretty much talked that about that lawsuit to death, so we don't need to read the repeat language that is in here. But I can read the last sentence. It says the judge in Fat Joe's case has not yet ruled on the motion to dismiss.
They said AI was hallucinating.
Yep, they said that, honey. They also we have a comment saying Fat Joe can go to hell. I concur.
Hey, I'm coming in to speak on the AI hallucination. First time I heard it recently, I had a professor try and argue with me to say one of my citations was an AI hallucination, and I was like, "What the fuck is that? Like, what are you talking about?" Basically, what she was trying to say is, I let AI write my whole paper and make up citations, which I didn't. I had to appeal and all that. But that was the first time. And it is a thing where if you use AI to create something, it will make up, whatever. And so they call it AI hallucination. And I was like, oh, baby, no. So I appealed it. I won, y'all. Just by the way, I just want to tell y'all I did win because I didn't let
Yay!
AI make up nothing, and she had to change my grade. Biatch.
I hate Nays. She was just a hater, honey. I would have been like, "What you trying to say? I'm not smart enough to come up with a paper like this? Are you kidding me?"
Honey, she was all of the things, all of the things. I can't even get into how bad it was. It was so terrible. Oh,
Mm.
she
Yeah, I've
was
heard of
definitely a
that.
hater,
Teachers
and
accusing
probably,
students of using that and they didn't, you know.
yeah, yeah, she was a true bitch, and I hate to say that about women or women in position sometimes, but sometimes they really are.
Look,
Sometimes they really are.
They
it's
are.
okay to call a thing, honey.
Hmm. But yeah, it sounds crazy, but people are dumb enough to let AI create a whole paper for them or whatever and not check it. Trump's administration got in trouble for that too. They got busted making up stuff because AI be like, well, I don't see it, but here, you know what? Let me create something for y'all.
Hmm.
This sound good.
Yep.
Well, and just a little of a note because I know, like, when it comes to AI and stuff like that, it can be real intimidating. And and I've said on the show before, it's doing.
Uh oh.
Oh no, it cut Auntie off in the middle.
Just snatched them clean on out the pod. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Well, in the meantime, we have a little technical difficulties here. Hopefully, our hosts will return
They don't want Auntie to
shortly.
be great. That's what that is.
AI snatched Auntie.
Mm-hmm.
Ass, smash my ass. Honey. It's what you was about to say. Hold on, you better get you.
Right on out of here, baby.
No, I'm sorry, my stupid ass done clicked something by accident.
Oh,
But
okay.
what I wanted to share, and this is for the listeners as well. Like I know AI can be intimidating, and I know we've heard things about it doing like environmental harm and stuff like that. But let's face it, it's not going anywhere anytime soon. As much as we want it to, it's not.
I know. We keep
So while we're here, I would say if we're gonna use it, we need to learn how to use it properly. And what I'm gonna share with you all is this prompt guide from David Burse. because I actually took a AI writing course on LinkedIn, like I want to say maybe 2 years ago, maybe, and I still use this prompt guide to this day. But what David Burst is teaching us is how to use AI, do AI prompts using the create method. And create is an acronym, and you'll see in this link what create stands for. So, when anybody in this room or anybody who's listening, if you have some time, I would highly recommend using this. This is very helpful. And I know it's helpful because my aunt, who happens to be a teacher, she used it and she was like, "Oh, thank you so much for that." Like I'm like the results I'm getting back from AI is much more accurate now. So you all may not see, but yeah, it's davidburst.com, and this is it's called the prompt guide, and he teaches you the create method. So get into that, and let's use AI responsibly. Don't use it for shit like creating pictures of a dog eating a baby or some bullshit like that. No, use it for stuff that's actually needed.
My
So
only
anyway,
problem with it, I'm sorry, let me just say this,
hmm
is how it affects the neighborhoods and places it's in with the water and the electric bills going up. It's like people are being forced to pay for the energy required by these huge AI places. That's I don't have a problem with AI being around. It'll be around, but the effect on people around it is not fair.
it surely isn't, especially that. I think we were talking about it in our back chat, and that lady in New Jersey who was talking about her light bill didn't have no way to opt out of any of what was going on. But she said her her light bill like tripled or something like that. So it says I can't use AI to make Auntie and Dave having tea together. You better not use AI for that shit. Hell no, child, please. I won't even have coffee with Dave. I wouldn't even have cat food with Dave. Dave can't sit. We not sitting at the same table. To hell with a Dave. Well, so let me go to my next story. So Clifton Powell, honey, his old ashy ass. So my thing is right, because I don't know if y'all saw. He just did an interview with the Art of Dialogue, and he was pretty much talking about like how he's not going to play. And I just wanted to be clear, because every it's a lot of people, a lot of male actors out here that have issues with doing an on-screen, playing a gay role and doing an on-screen kiss with another man. I get that, but what we not gonna do is play in our faces and not say and say it's not homo. That is literal homophobia. It's an aversion to homosexuality. So it's homophobia. So let's be. And Clifton Powell say, "Oh well, I'm not homophobic. I don't have no problem with gay people, but no, I just can't see being a real man playing that kind of role." Okay, so now you're saying that I'm not a real man. Like it's just so much. But anyway, all that aside, he's still talking, and now he's talking about Spike Lee. And y'all see, I just shared this Vibe article. Clifton Powell blasts Spike Lee for alleged shady business practices. And I think this is just after my Libra Queen asked us if we watched that movie. I still haven't watched it yet, but anyway. Clifton Powell has once again spoken candidly about his issues with Spike Lee, doubling down on past remarks while stressing that his criticism is rooted in business and not a personal dislike. The veteran actor addressed the subject during a recent sit down with The Art of Dialogue, where he was asked directly about his stance on the celebrated filmmaker. When pressed about Lee, Powell immediately clarified that he had no intention of walking back earlier comments. "I'm not going to comment about Spike Lee. I said what I said, and I stand by what I said. Go read about it. And a lot of y'all don't have the facts," he said, urging listeners to dig deeper before forming an opinion. According to Powell, his concerns stem from what he views as questionable practices when it comes to working with actors. "If you go research and ask some actors the kind of business that he did, you'll be able to make a determination for yourself," he continued. While noting that he personally never worked with Lee, Powell said he has close friends who were affected. Still, Powell made clear that he respects Lee's artistic contributions. "I think him and Denzel working together are amazing," he admitted, while underscoring that the problem lies in some of his business practices. The 69-year-old also pushed back against critics who dismissed him as bitter. People talk a lot of stuff and don't do their research. I do my research, and I'm never going to accept a black man doing to us what that man has been doing for the last 70,000 years. he said. Powell pointed to fellow actor Charles Dutton as someone who publicly backed his claims, stating, "Listen to what Charles Dutton said. He said Clifton Powell wasn't wrong. He knows." At the same time, Powell acknowledged he could have handled things differently. "I was just playing around. I was in the studio, I was playing around making a joke, and then it went viral. But I don't respect his business policies," he said. "I should have called him and told him that, or I should have saw him out and pulled him aside. So I learned something from that." The veteran thespian used the interview to highlight the broader need for solidarity among Black creators. "Black folk, do your research before you comment and condemn somebody. We got to be better than the man to each other," he explained. He also praised Tyler Perry as an example of resilience and perseverance. Tyler Perry used to live in his truck and be in his car and be homeless. I don't know how much you can. I mean, I heard stuff. I've never had a negative thing. I've met Tyler Perry. Does he mean to say I never heard a negative thing? Anyway, I've met Tyler. I can't vouch for anything he has or hasn't done, but I know he used to be homeless. I've been homeless 4 times. It ain't no good feeling. While Powell stood firm in his critique of Lee's dealings, he stressed that his goal was not to condemn. "I'm not here to condemn anyone, but we got to support each other in public. And if we have grievances, let's sit down, have dinner, and talk about it," he said. He even extended a peace offering directly to Lee. "If Spike Lee ever wanted to sit down and have dinner with me, I tell him exactly how I feel. And maybe as a Pisces, like I am, he he may take it in and try to do better." Y'all remember when I keep saying Pisces men love unnecessary chaos? Anyway, I'm not gonna read the rest of this because all of it is just stupid. First of all, you never work with the man. You going by what people had, and you know what? I'm actually curious. Let me see what Charles Dutton said about Spike Lee. Charles Dutton, Clifton Powell, Spike Lee. Let me Google and see what comes up because I've actually never heard about that. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see. Okay, so nothing is coming up. Like the only thing that I'm seeing is maybe I need to take Clifton Powell's name out of this. Yeah, let me take Clifton Powell's name out of this and see what comes up. Charles Dutton, Spike Lee, because it's only pulling up the story that I just went over. Um, I'm still not finding anything. Maybe I'm gonna just have to research this on my own time because I'm curious. I want to see and I don't know about y'all, honey, but I haven't been able to look at Charles Dutton the same after the movie Gothical. Like he played that role too well. Now every time I see him in anything, I'm like, mm. But shout out to Charles Dutton. That's what an actor's supposed to do, honey, make you feel things. Well, anyway, what's our next story? Somebody we definitely don't want to fight. And I got like 3 different stories about his ass today, child. But Kodak Black, he is all up in the news, honey. Child, our first story. His lawyer is defending him because his stupid ass stupid enough to drink lean on camera. And now his lawyer saying, "Oh, it's not lean, it's just juice." So I have this link from TMZ. Y'all see where it says Kodak Black appears to drink lean while driving. Attorney says it's just juice. And adult juice. Somebody was a prank. So Kodak Black filmed himself driving down the I-95 in Miami while appearing to sip cough syrup through a straw. The incident was captured on video that went viral. It shows Black behind the wheel of the car with his bare chest exposed while bragging about sipping that drink raw. Kodak Black talks some more gibberish and flashes a bottle, which appears to be containing promethazine, but it's not totally clear, and we'll tell you why. Promethazine is prescription syrup that can be used as a drug called lean. TMZ Hip Hop reached out to Kodak's attorney, Bradford Cohen, who tells us Kodak was just trolling social media by replacing the cough syrup with some harmless juice. The platinum selling rapper also has battled substance abuse issues in the past, and fans didn't see any humor in the clip voicing their concerns about it. As you may know, lean has been the downfall for plenty of hip hop stars. Paul Wall recently apologized to Joel Santana after the Dipset rapper revealed that it was the Texas OG who turned him on to the drink. So, and I'm gonna share this little clip, and y'all, I mean, you tell me. I don't see why anybody, especially somebody like Kodak with his history, why he would joke about something like that. I don't think it was a joke. I think that was very much lean.
Because he's on the slow bus. That's why.
Hmm. I mean, this is the same man who takes fake Percocets proudly. So I mean, I'm not surprised about anything. But let's see what he was doing. Look at the damn fool.
Stand on a briefcase. That was a stand on a briefcase.
Okay,
Go
you
to
know
sleep.
what? I don't need to see no more, child. The 35 seconds of that was enough, honey. Child, please. And we have a comment saying he's a junkie. Yes, a junkie, a colorist, all of the above, honey. I
I
ain't got
thought
nothing for him.
he had a cup. He not even pretending it's a cup. It's a bottle. Like, come
It's he drinking it straight out the bottle, girl.
on.
And then his attorney talking about, oh well, it's just a prank. He took all oh yep, he's a convicted rapist, all of that too. Yep. He gonna pour all he allegedly, according to his lawyer Bradford Cohen, poured all the syrup out of the bottle and replaced it with juice. Now, what addict gonna do that?
It's not. Well, if it is a prank, it's not funny in the least bit. Period.
Hmm. Child, please, child. And then somebody else who's actually upset with Kodak Black at the moment, Boosie Badass. So his
Why he didn't
homophobic
say
ass, honey. Well, Kodak has been kind of vocal about Bootsy and calling him a snitch and calling Young Thug a snitch and all that stuff.
hmm
So I just have this link from Vibe, and y'all see where it says Bootsy Badass blasts Kodak Black for questioning his silence amid Young Thug snitch allegations. The grown ass men. Are you girl
I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm really tired.
for real? Well, Boosie Badass is firing back at Kodak Black after being called out for his hesitation to address the ongoing snitching allegations circling Young Thug. On Wednesday, September 10th, Kodak Black took to Instagram to question Boosie's uncharacteristic silence, pointing to his reputation for loudly weighing in whenever snitching or cooperating with authorities becomes a topic of discussion in hip hop. And I mean, you know what? I can't stand Kodak Black Hunter, but he ate that one little thing. He said, any other time, your ass is all loud about snitching and cooperating with authorities, but now you all quiet now when it comes to Young Thug. But anyway, where the hell Boosie at? The Florida rapper wrote, alluding to Boosie's history of speaking on such matters. Fan was just the spokesman for this shit, is now silent, Kodak added, before concluding, these niggas bullshit. Boosie wasted no time clapping back with a heated post on Twitter, dismissing Kodak's criticism while making it clear that money is the deciding factor in whether or not he's addressing Thug's situation. Kodak, believe me when let me see if I can do my best Boosie impression. Kodak, believe me when I say it's time to be on the situation, I know it's be business, but it's business. I get a bag. He said I get a bag to speak on these situations, and believe me, somebody coming with it, and you wrong. I shouldn't have energy at all for this shit with what I'm going through. Yeah, he's right about that. Anyway, he accused Kodak of harboring resentment over past remarks he made about Kodak collaborating with Takashi 69. And you must still be mad about my remarks about you. Let that shit go and admit you regret it now. Your career been downhill ever since. You fucking over your legacy. You go be known as a drug addict before your talents. Oop. ain't
Okay.
ain't that one little thing?
He
Wait,
did.
he did
He ate
eat that
that.
one. Wait a minute. After off the back of we just did a story, he ate that. I'm sorry.
Well,
I can't stand either one of their asses.
Me either, child. And he goes on to say, on top of that, you checked PC, my nigga. Come on, man. You walked to the left when you got off the bus. The whole Fed system will tell you this. I don't go back and forth. I don't want to go back and forth with you. Get off the drugs and go get you some help. You fucking the wrong one, nigga. Oh wow. I'm sure he meant to say you fucking with the wrong one,
With
nigga.
right.
Well, shortly after, Boosie elaborated further in an Instagram video, attributing his silence to personal struggles, including a looming prison sentence following his guilty plea on a federal gun charge. When it's time for me to speak on anything, I'm going to speak on it, he declared. Whoever put me on their couch, bro, I'm an open book. I'm going to speak on it. I'm going to tell how I feel, and I'm going to keep it real about the situation. He continued, but at the same time, I shouldn't have no energy for this shit. All the shit I'm going through right now. Man, I shouldn't even have energy for this shit. I'm going through some real gangster shit right now. Boosie's legal woes date back to June of 2023 when he was arrested in San Diego after being found in possession of a firearm. He later pled guilty, with prosecutors recommending 2 years in prison and 3 years of supervised release, a reality that's clearly weighing heavily on his focus, even as industry drama continues to unfold. Mm-mm, child, grown ass nigga, you big old ass niggas, honey, looking a fool. Well, our last story about Kodak Black, and then we'll get off of his crazy looking ass. But he allegedly was trying to spit gang because he's sitting there talking about Boosie not speaking on Young Thug's behalf or whatever, or not speaking up about snitching and stuff. And the whole time you was sitting there trying to spit game at Young Thug's girl, honey. So let me get this link I have here from Hot New Hip Hop.
Hypocrisy. Surprise.
Hello. And you see where it says Kodak Black allegedly flirted with Mariah the Scientist during Young Thug's jail time. And I believe every word. So, Young Thug may have already sat down with Big Bank for an interview, but his leaked jail call scandal continues with more and more clips. In a recent one by Live Bites on Instagram, Mariah the Scientist alleges to him that Kodak Black sent her a message saying he's fucked up about her. Basically, basically, Mariah read the whole alleged message out to Thugger, which also included references to Yak's then incarcerated status and Thug's own jail time over the YSL Rico case. She said she rejected his advances, and the Atlanta rapper basically laughed the whole thing off, with the R&B singer also claiming that Kodak has been like that since they first met. In any case, it seems like Young Thug and Mariah the Scientist relationship drama isn't over. For those unaware, the former admitted to cheating on the latter in a series of leaked jail calls, and this is months after previous leaks drove a wedge into their relationship. While they haven't popped out recently to bury the hatchet or show the world a sign, we will soon find out if they support each other. Um, all of this drama resulted in Young Thug's recent apology to Mariah the Scientist. My baby, I was wrong, and I'm sorry for what I put you through, he tweeted. You deserve better from me. Thank you for everything, and I will do anything to make this work. You showed me what love is, and I hope I haven't lost you forever. Everybody leave her out of this, please. She's an innocent girl and feels bad about all this. Please give her peace. Girl, bye. Anyway, meanwhile, Mariah the Scientist seemingly responded to Young Thug by quoting her lyrics off of her new album, Heart Soul Separately, on her Instagram story. Tell me, love and hatred doesn't coexist. Surely I'll reply, that's what resentment is, she sang on rainy days. I was naive, not ignorant. So much for my innocence now. Love me, leave me, let me down. I put forth an open heart and I've been hurt. Looking back in retrospect, that ain't what I deserve. Want it back in blood, and blood I'm going to get. And I still pray for a love instead of common sense. Girl. That last line, and I still pray for love instead of common sense. Oh, girl, stand up, honey.
Didn't they?
Stand.
Didn't they supposedly break up or something?
Yes, but then it's been speculated they're back together now because some tweets that the both of them put, and it just kind of looked like they I don't know, but yes, they allegedly did break up, and it looks like they might be getting back together.
Mm.
And it's like, girl, what did you learn? Because remember, her ass was sitting front and center, honey, and all them damn suits, honey, looking like a bootleg Hillary Clinton when his ass was on trial. Every single day, honey, her ass sitting there side by side by his side in court looking a fool. But okay. And whole time, honey, he sharing that community dick with all of Atlanta. But okay, girl. So, well, I have three more stories left. Thank you to Chili for this next story for bringing this story to my attention. I was like, oh wow. But Keith Lee bought a house in Texas, honey, and got more than what he bargained for, child. Mold up in that motherfucker. What Auntie Fee say? Mold all through the bitch. So y'all see, I just shared this link from Click to Houston, and you see where it says Keith Lee shares newly built home. Oop, let me allow pop-ups for this website. They say, "Oh, bitch, you got to pop up. We want you to show you our ads." Okay, let me pause on this site and refresh. Here we go. So Keith Lee shares newly built Texas home infiltrated with black mold, and he's been sick for the last 3 weeks. So, viral food critic Keith Lee, who is now a Texas resident, shared that he and his family have been sick for several weeks due to black mold growing in his newly built home on social media. For those who don't know, Lee is a former MMA fighter who started his food critiquing career by documenting his wife's unique pregnancy cravings, according to Forbes. The 28-year-old has gained more than 15 million followers on TikTok and over 2.6 million on Instagram by visiting local restaurants across the country and rating his food on a 10-point scale. Last year, Lee announced he and his family moved to Dallas, Texas after living in Las Vegas for 10 years. After moving into his Texas home in October of 2024, Lee says he's now experiencing the woes of home ownership after discovering growing black mold in his home's bathroom. Before moving in, Lee said the home was inspected 3 to 4 times and they saw nothing wrong with their bathroom. He said the discovery was made by his cleaning lady who noticed a crack in the shower's floor growing mold. In the video, he showed his bathtub was gutted by a professional, which had growing black mold, left behind Coke bottles, tops, packages, cups, and sunflower seeds. Oh, wow. Lee also pointed out that underneath his bathtub, the builders used sheetrock materials that were not waterproof. None of this is waterproof, Lee said. He noticed that they do not know how to deep the mold. He does not know how deep the mold is growing in their home, but it's making them sick. We've been sick for the last 3 weeks. I'm sick right now, and I couldn't figure out what was happening or what was going on, he said. Lee's wife, who's visibly well into her pregnancy, was also seen in the video looking upset. Reality of being a homeowner, Lee said. According to the CDC, um, and I'm going to butcher this, but Stachybotrys chartarum,
Stocky,
also
you got close.
I was close, Al. But that's also known as black mold, can appear dark green, gray, or brown. It grows in materials with high cellulose content, such as fiberboard, gypsum board, and paper. Growth occurs when there is moisture from water damage, leaks, condensation, water infiltration, or flooding. Constant moisture is required for its growth. Black mold can cause respiratory issues, infections, asthma, hypersensitivity, pneumonitis, allergic rhinitis, or hay fever and eczema. Mm-mm.
But how was water getting out of the tub? Like, what kind of tub is that? Even though the underside of the tub wasn't waterproof, like, why is water even getting under there? There's a problem there.
Yep. And then when he was saying like the stuff that was left behind, like the Coke bottles and stuff like that, that leaves. Do you think like what the construction workers
Oh,
left it
left
there?
that.
Like,
Yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm looking at this tub. It looks like some kind of tile, like it's built, like it's not a whole tub that was set into a fitting. like it was built by tiling somehow. Because look at the edge of it, how it's tiled. It's not a complete unit. Even on the inside, it looks like that. And that may be the problem. Like why the water was seeping through and getting under the tub. Because that shouldn't be happening. A tub is usually a single piece, and then
Hmm.
you build an opening and place it inside if you want that on the outside of it. But the inside looks tiled too. That's, huh.
See, this is exactly why when it comes to home owning, and trust me when I tell you, I believe the importance of owning a home. But when it comes to me personally for home ownership, I'm over here like, get somebody else to do it. Because the fact that this, like anything that happens in your house, like any crack or anything, has to be paid at your expense. But I like the idea, maybe because I'm a city kind of bitch. I'm a city bitch. I like the idea of being calling the landlord, hey, come fix this for me. Because, but I get it, and I get why people want to have their own homes, but yeah, that's the stuff like this. And then his pregnant wife is sick and has been sick,
Yeah,
and they probably just finding out about the mold. Like,
yeah. Children sick. Everybody's sick in the home. And so, and in a new, especially new construction. I mean, I watch videos where home inspectors go out and look at these homes, and the build quality of homes is just not up to par as opposed to a home built, 50 years ago. It's pretty bad. And then they
hmm
try to pass it off as ready. And I mean, some of the flaws they find are so egregious. It's like, how did they even say that this was ready? You know? So I don't know. He probably is gonna have to get a lawyer.
hmm
Because you get a new home warranty. They're supposed to fix anything you find wrong with it within a certain amount of time. So, um,
Oh, I didn't know that.
yeah, new homes come with a warranty, and the builder is supposed to repair, any things that they find. So they would have to pay for the mold remediation and cleaning and redoing the bathtub and all that. And a lot of times when it's a big ticket item like that, you got to fight them.
Yep. Well, I just hate that they had, and honey, they were all sick of it. They probably all thought it was COVID the whole time, and they were probably like mold. Honey, and when I was in Brooklyn, we thought it was mold, honey, and my landlord he shut that shit down, honey. Like he was like, "No, can't nobody use the bathroom." I'm like, "Well, what? How you suspect I'm supposed to take a shower? I'm supposed to just go to the local gas station or something?" He was like, "No, we got mold up here." But it turns out it wasn't mold; it was a false alarm, so we was all good.
Oh, that's good. And
Yep.
hopefully you have a landlord that fixes stuff because a lot of people are in apartments that the landlords do not care. I
Hmm.
mean, they're constantly on the news with this. They don't fix stuff. It mold, wet floors. I mean, recently they had somebody on the news. Rodents. The floors had water, like the carpet was soaked with water. They had mold around the air vents, and they couldn't get the landlord to do anything about it. Like these trash landlords, a lot of them are foreign investors, and they're not even here. They're allowing property managers to manage this stuff. And I guess if the property manager try to get them to, finance a fix or whatever, they don't do it. And oh, it's terrible out here.
Ooh, child. Well, shout out to all the homeowners, honey. Y'all got to be, y'all are some strong people. I tell you that.
Can you
I'm about to
imagine
s- I'm
your
about to be a
new
renter
house,
again. Y'all playing.
a new home that you
Um.
can't even live in because it's got mold?
Oh, he's
Yep.
suing. He's about to get paid. They're getting paid.
Yeah, because I don't even think he's been in there for a year. It says,
And she
if
was
I'm
pregnant.
read correct, he moved down there and got that house in October of last year.
Hmm.
Yeah, you can't live in there. And he's probably trying to make them fix it. I mean, if this was an older home, yeah, you'd be responsible. But if he's trying to make them fix it, see how long he's been out of there trying to get them to take care of it?
Hmm.
Yeah, he about to be they about to be paid because that's a serious negligence. And the wife was pregnant too. Hmm. He has a case.
Well, shout out to Keith Lee and his wife. And shout out to Chime Time. Everybody be calling Chime Time evil Keith Lee. I love evil Keith Lee. I love how they do that. Chime Time is not evil at all. How dare y'all? He's
Is
just
he
from
from
High
Charlotte?
Point. No, he's from High
I was
Point, North Carolina.
I, he's funny. I like him.
The same place Fantasia from.
Hmm. Evil Keith Lee. He do be. I like him though. He's very nice. He's giving out a
hmm
lot of money too.
Yep. He just not shy about calling people food mid, honey. Remember, he went to Texas. It was like all y'all barbecue mid, and they said, "Bitch, you better take your damn ass back to your vinegar loving North Carolina and get some barbecue." How about that?
How about that? Get out.
Yeah, he was tearing New Orleans apart too.
He
Not
sure
New Orleans.
was.
That's
Yes, girl.
one. I think it's the second food destination. He don't need to come out of North Carolina if that's what he does. Okay,
Well, I
stay
ain't
out.
gonna lie to you, Chilla, because I heard that too. But the stuff that he was eating, I think it was just where he was told to go. Because the
Mm.
stuff that he got, it looked dry, flavorless, and stuff. It didn't look good.
And even if there's one thing that's good, he'll say that, but he will say, and that's specifically what's wrong with it. I mean, I don't think he'd be lying.
hmm Well, well, our next story. This is our feel good. It's a feel good story, and thank you to Beezus for bringing this story to my attention. But Jill Scott, sh- Paul Wall was talking to how Jill Scott, this Aries queen, was encouraging him to be his best freaky self, honey. And I love to hear it. So y'all see, I have this Vibe article. It says Jill Scott told Paul Wall to fuck the shit out of me on the verse, and
What?
here's how he reacted. So, well, first of all, Chill, do you remember their song that they have together?
Mm-mm.
It goes like, "Why does my body ignore what my mind says? I try to keep it intact." But in the song, he says a line, "That's what a diamond chip dick do."
Oh,
But
okay.
yes, it's one of my favorite songs from that album. But the article starts off, Paul Wall and Jill Scott collaborated for the singer's "So Gone," What My Mind Says from her 2011 album, The Light of the Sun. During the rapper's recent sit down with The Art of Dialogue, he reflected on the record's conception and how Jill convinced him to write a vulgar verse about a diamond chip dick. And honey, and y'all gonna find out what a diamond chip. I thought a diamond chip dick was a metaphor. I just learned by way of this article that it's not. But we gonna talk more about it. But anyway, he described his initial verse for the sultry record as kids bop adjacent because he was scared and didn't know how to write from a sexual place. But Jilly from Philly stepped in to give him a few pointers. She told him his verse was cool, but I want you to say, "I'm gonna dick you down, I'm gonna pull your hair, I want you to fuck the shit out of me on your verse. I want you to say stuff like that." Wall was hesitant and even asked if she was sure. I never heard that language on a Jill Scott song, and the neo soul community might whoop my ass if I'm talking like that. My mama might whoop my ass. My aunties, they gonna jump me. My pastor's wife might slap the shit out of me if she hear me talking vulgar on a Jill Scott song. He teased. He changed the verse, but Scott felt it was still being too sweet. She basically coached him through the writing process, and it was actually her who suggested he say, "That's what a diamond chip dick do." According to the rapper's incarcerated friends, some men in prison will cut off just the tip of their genitals and insert a diamond or domino to heighten the pleasure during sex. The rapper's friends claims the experience is next level and will happily brag about it. So I was gagged. I was like, wait a minute, that's what a diamond chip dick is. Oh, I thought it was a metaphor, like a nigga who wears a bunch of diamonds or something. I don't know, but yeah. Anyway, Scott also wanted that level of vulgarity because the song was inspired by true events. She was in the midst of a sexual relationship, but she couldn't leave because she was hypnotized by their sexual relations. Her mind's telling her no, but her body saying yes. So that's why she wanted me to be this character, said the rapper. So yeah, again, one of my favorite songs from that album. But I'm just really surprised that a diamond chip dick is not a metaphor. It's actually a practice that niggas in jail cut off the a small tip of their penis. And where are they getting that diamond from? The commissary or a domino? Like what the hell? Mm-mm. Y'all play too much for me, honey. Mm-mm. Well, our last story. And remember how I said, honey, anything that has to do with Desiree Perez after she called herself trying to come for me in my picture that I put online. So I got a Google alert on her ass. So any story that's out about her, I'm going to be sure to talk about it. So, like this one, our last story that we have that's by way of Billboard, that talks about how she's on a campaign to bring that casino to Times Square in Manhattan. And let me get the article for y'all. So, Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez is looking to use her connections, just like she used her connections to lock her daughter up in a mental ward.
Are we
Anyway,
allowed to talk about her?
Mm, damn.
Can we talk about her?
I'm gonna talk about her, and I'm
Man.
gonna say this, Miss Desiree Perez. If you're listening, the only way to get me to stop talking about your ass is to send a bitch a cash out. Once you send me some money, I won't talk about you no more. And if I do talk about it, it'll be good. But until that happens, mm-mm. Now you are
We
a
was
shady
on your
woman who
side.
uses your connections to do evil.
Allegedly. Allegedly.
Hmm.
Man,
Well,
don't piss off Auntie. Don't get my Auntie ass off,
hello, because
please.
I'm just have to I'm gonna have to give you your money's worth. You know what I'm saying? Just to prove, because that's just what we do as Aries, honey. We don't like bullies. And honey, you picked the right one to bully, honey. I tell you that. I'm not your daughter or her husband. So keep that in mind, Miss Perez. But anyway, for the past 5 years, Rock Nation has been fighting to make New York City first casino a reality. And this month, they'll learn whether their historical new venue will actually happen. Jay Z and Rock's longtime CEO, Desiree Perez, have been pushing relentlessly to obtain one of three new gaming licenses being given out by the city. The license would allow them to convert Times Square's 1515 Broadway into an expansive casino and entertainment destination. As part of the bid, Rock Nation, who is partnering with Caesar's Palace and SL Green, has also committed 250 million in community support over the next 10 years. The money will go towards community programs aimed at supporting Broadway, public health, safety, and security in Times Square and the surrounding neighborhoods and more. Rock additionally pledged to donate 0.5% of the casino's revenue to the West Side Community Fund and announced earlier this week that in tandem with Ryan Williams and Cadre, or Cadre, however you say that, will allow local New Yorkers to invest in the casino for a minimum of $500. With all this in play, Perez has spent the last 5 years talking to the Manhattan community about all these initiatives, some of whom have expressed worry about the congestion and tourism a Jay Z Him casino would bring to an already overstuffed area in the city. Rock Nation will finally learn their fate later this month, with the last public hearing on the project set for today, September 11th. When asked how Rock Nation is feeling at this precarious moment, Perez tells Billboard over the phone that they are cautiously optimistic, but that you never just know. It's more of trying to make sure that we're covering all bases and that the right information is out there, Perez says. Girl, bye, because anybody who tries to get the right information out there, you silence them. But anyway, Billboard briefly chats with the Rock Nation CEO about the plans for the casino, how they're handling the pushback, and how this will impact the future of New York City. And then there's just like a Q&A with her, and she's pretty much talking about how she's going to, I don't believe a word of this. And I'm with I don't know if y'all seen the protest, because I think I even talked about the protest here on the show one day. But it's like the article says, they're already planning to bring congestion to an already congested area. And when I say I'm not even a native New Yorker, but even during my time in New York, honey, you couldn't even pay me to go out to some freaking Times Square. Are you kidding me? Because of all the congestion, all the business, all the slow moving tourists around it. You can't get nowhere to I remember I used to actually work over that area, and honey, I would actually take the train to the next stop just so I wouldn't have to walk around that congestion. It is that bad. And then a casino is going to make that much worse. And she, being a native New Yorker, should know something like that. Like this is just it is a money grab, and they need to say what it is. And now they're trying to bring the community because the community has already spoken. The Broadway actors don't want it there. And they sitting there saying, "Oh, we're gonna give the 0.5% to the the West Side Community Fund. Oh, we're gonna repair. Bro, oh, you guys get the chance to invest with us with a minimum of $500, girl. Don't nobody want to hear none of that. Get that done. Mm-mm. And I honestly, I hope that this casino does not come to pass. It's just and y'all, they have too many areas that they can put that shit. But no, they want it in fucking Manhattan, where it's already busy as shit, and you can still barely get around. Why would you want to put a casino somewhere that just had a damn parking garage collapse? Are you kidding me? Like, is it mental illness? Anyway, but yeah, that's that on that. She is fighting to bring that. And if you know what I know about her, you wouldn't listen to shit she's peddling.
Alrighty then.
Well, y'all, that was all the tea that I had for us today. So before we head out and before I go and watch my stories, did any of you have any tea that you want to share? Any tea that I might have missed?
I think we covered it, baby.
We covered it, Al. Well, y'all, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come and sip tea with me. We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time for a live show if you can make it. Until then, I hope you all have a fabulous rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.